Peace family, 19 Keys tapping in. About to head over to the Revolt. Yesterday was good. My brother some EYL gonna be speaking. My bro Jim Jones. Mac Ross gonna be dropping some of that tokenomics, some of that education. The master investor Ian Dunlap gonna be in there giving up a good game. So I look forward to see, you understand me, everything that's happening. I'm more so here to just network, you understand me? So the beautiful thing about Revolt is that it's sparking a revolution. This is financial excellence. You understand me? Yes, sir. Now listen, man. You know, of course, we need a lot of help. You understand me? As much as we have great platforms and people pay attention to us, not enough people execute, and still not enough people actually tap in. Maybe one person in the family that actually takes it serious, if you got one person in the family, right? Now, from the standpoint of like true value, why is it important that a person start today and not tomorrow?
You can't replace time.
Yeah.
And then if you begin to miss these moments, we all are like, I wish I would invested in Microsoft, Apple, whatever, 5 years ago. But we didn't take action that one day, and that compounded to 700, 800 days later.
Yeah.
So we have to execute now, and then the economy is fucked up.
Yeah.
We're going to be honest. If we don't invest, we're going to be underpriced. We're like this close to being there.
Well, you said something before. You talked about being priced out. You understand me? Now, with inflation, supply chains, new technology, new government policies, supply and demand, like, as far as like if you only was able to give a person one word, what would be that one word that you can give them to make them pay attention to something?
Destitute.
Destitute. Why destitute?
If you're not going to execute, we're going to end up being destitute. Like we all come from environments.
Explain the definition of destitute.
It means to be beyond poor. So you're not only broke, you have no chance of coming out.
How do a person know they're poor?
You know it in your soul. If a person broke, you know you're fucked up.
But is it a financial level that is a statistical poverty line?
Anything below 10,000.
Anything, so you ain't making more than 10,000, right? Now, how do you know if you're wealthy?
We can go philosophical, we can go by number. For me, it's
let's go number first.
Okay.
Then we go philosophy.
Rich, above $1 million, wealthy, 28 million. For practicality, debt to income ratio. I like people to have zero debt.
Zero debt.
A lot of people argue against it, but I'm like, if you've ever had debt, it suffocates you.
Right.
So I prefer to have none.
So your income minus your debt plus your assets, right? That's your net worth.
Yes.
You understand me? And one thing I've been trying to get people, because a lot of, we hear things like net worth, but the average person can't calculate it because they don't know that simple formula, right? So it's like one of my goals is to be able to increase the net worth for the average family, right? And there's a very easy method to doing this. It's just depending on where you put your money, time, and attention into.
What's the formula?
Well,
come on.
let's get into it. All right, well, assets, number one. Like you said, debt, right? So you always want to clean that debt. You understand me? But even before you clean the debt, you want to get you some assets. You understand me? Because your assets can make you way more than paying off that debt. Debt is not an investment if it's not going to give you any return.
And many of us will pay off the debt and something crazy happens to go right back in the debt.
That's what I'm saying.
Always happens.
So I would rather have an asset that's paying me and then I'm utilizing that to pay off the debt. Because that asset will still be there paying me.
I agree.
You understand me? So number one, of course, we're clearing out the debt, whichever way we decide to do that, right? A lot of people don't go bankrupt. You understand me? But you can use that to clear out your debt 10 years later, and there's a couple other loopholes you can utilize to put yourself back in position. So if you're a family that's in debt, go bankrupt if you need to. You understand me? Set yourself up. We building for the next 10 years, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so what's time anyway, right? Then, of course, assets, right? I want to have a nice, colorful array of my cryptocurrencies. You understand me? And my stocks. I'm gonna hit them with the two tech, two index. What you talking about?
Easy formula.
You understand me? Two tech, two index. You don't know much about stocks, get into stocks, right? You're getting into crypto. Essentially, everything in crypto is tech, but they got different utility, right? Blockchain is financial technology, right? Blockchain is the financial revolution itself. Everything else is being built around to supply blockchain and take advantage and capitalize off of it. So you want to be invested in that area, whether it's...
What four cryptos do you like right now?
Well, Bitcoin is gold, right? Ethereum is palladium. You understand me? Or platinum. I ain't gonna call it silver. It's bigger than that. Then I like Cardano. I like Solana. You understand me? Those are ecosystems that you can bet on being bigger. Whether they take over the next or not, that don't matter, because you can own more of Cardano than you'll ever be able to own of Bitcoin. So I would rather be able to get greater gains. Like right now, I'm debating on taking my Bitcoin and transferring it into something else rather than just sitting it as a gold standard fund. But I look at long-term gains, right? So if I want safe, like if I'm investing in bonds, I'm going for something safe but guaranteed. Bitcoin has been guaranteed, right? It goes through a 4-year cycle. You can track it. You understand me? You can see how Bitcoin works. So we're using historical methods to determine how we decrease our risk and increase our profit. You understand me? So that's the paradigm of Bitcoin. You gotta have some Bitcoin, have you some Ethereum. It's better than the bank, right? If the bank sent you a message and they showed you based on the return that they can guarantee, year to year, and they return Bitcoin, crypto, and stocks can guarantee, you would never put your money in the bank.
Period, they average what, 13% return a week? Like,
mine is inflation. You understand me? So you losing at the end of the day. Listen, everybody here should be listening to this conversation because it's the most important. People walk around like they got swag, they got money, they got this, that, and the third, but they ain't got no financial education, which means they ain't got no protection. You understand me? And they ain't got no guarantees. You understand me?
Yeah.
The knowledge you have, you went bankrupt today, you will know how to make money tomorrow. You understand me? That's the difference. I can drop you off anywhere on the planet. I give you some internet and you good to go.
Yeah.
Even if you ain't got internet, you gonna teach somebody and get paid off your skills.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's another thing within the plan is every black family should have a skill set.
I agree.
You understand me? It should represent an industry. So you'll set up a trust, number one, right? Now, if you can, you want to tap in, you can do a foreign trust, right? Out of the jurisdiction. Set up your foreign trust. That essentially sets you up as your own government and your own entity.
Okay.
I always say that we all trust fund babies. You understand me? Because we're born in America inside a trust. You understand me? Connected to that. And we live in a welfare state. You ain't got no money, you can get welfare. That's the trust. That's the trust fund. You understand me? So we don't want to be trust fund babies of them, suckling on the nipple of a government
We have to make our own.
that's making you weaker. So assets and diversifying different asset classes. So do your family have some Bitcoin? Do you have some Ethereum? Gold is still necessary, especially as inflation rises. Yes, crypto gonna be a great hedge, but it's never going to completely replace gold. And gold gonna have his day. You understand me? Gold will have his day.
You have to invest in everything.
Yeah, diversification is key.
You have to have access to everything.
Yeah.
And not depend on one thing. So it's not real estate or stocks or crypto. It's all of it across the board. And I know some people gonna be like, I don't have the money. We buy more consumer shit than any other group.
Yeah.
We have the money.
Bro, diversification is just investing in the whole world.
Yes.
So unless the whole world goddamn explodes, then you're good.
Yeah, you're good.
But if you invest in everything, something in the world is going up while something else is going down. You understand me? So, and it's just understanding what percentage you want to allocate to which class that's going to give you a greater return and a safer portfolio over time, right? But if you want to increase net worth, essentially every black family in America needs to have assets. So the moment that you own some gold, some Bitcoin, some land, right? Which I think those are top three, whether you can own a whole one or get some Satoshis, right?
Yeah.
Gotta own you some land, whether it's a couple of parcels, an acre or 30 acres, whatever it is, and own you some gold. That guarantees you have an asset within your family, and that guarantees a net worth that you can calculate. You go get your gold, you get it insured, you get it evaluated, you put it into a safety deposit box. You can even borrow against it. You understand me? You never have to sell your assets. So without us being able to calculate from 17,000 black family to 171,000 white family, how do we bridge that gap? This black family needs assets, but specifically we need a lot of gains, right? We cannot afford to invest like old white men because they investments are safer. These are generations that they're protecting. We have generations that we started. It's a different.
And they're Tesla and Nvidia. 7 to 12% only, that is a regulatory rule. You can gain more than that.
How much is Tesla up this year?
I mean, when I called it originally, it was at 658, and it went to 1,200. So, like, even if you would have put in 10,000 last year in April, you'd be up 93,000 now. So I know people like, I don't have the money, but I'm like, you got the Hellcat. When we find stores of value or ways to multiply, we find the money for what we want to invest in.
What's the most thing that you're most excited about when it comes to blockchain?
How it's going to disrupt the entire industry. Like, think of Bitcoin and blockchain as an open ledger.
Yeah.
There's no more capping amongst corporations anymore.
Yeah.
And now, as a result, you get to see how so now with Web 3.0 coming up, it's a huge land grab. Think of that as like Avatar.
Yeah.
Now we got endless opportunities, we need infrastructure, we need people who can help build. It's like going back in the time machine and be like, before Facebook was made, before Tinder, Bumble, Instagram, and now we can make those landscapes opportunity of a lifetime.
That's a super fact. Transparency. So, as everything is on a ledger, we're going into a culture of transparency, right? So that changes everything. When a company you have to wait till a company discloses rather than it's already there. That changes the game, right? So, like, what do you think is going to be a shift that we'll see in culture, just as a human race and society, where when everything is transparent, what are some things that we can probably expect to change?
There's going to be a lot of fighting to keep things the way that they are, but where transparency is going to change culture. Because now I can't deceive, can't manipulate as easily. And even on the business side, if I'm doing certain things and you have to wait a quarter, you're behind. But if I'm showing you in real time, I can see if what you're saying is matching your action. So for a long time, a lot of banks are like, I don't believe in Bitcoin. I don't like crypto. While they were investing.
That's a super fact.
So in 2015, they were building huge positions in it while saying publicly, hey, I hate it.
Yeah.
So now, if you know what people are doing, you can take similar actions and then build the future that you need.
So now I'm thinking of like, this becomes the great separator, right? Because with everything being on the blockchain, essentially, right? You know exactly how much people are worth, essentially. You know how much that company is worth. You know how many transactions they do, what they bring it in, right? So it has to change the entire policies of those companies. It has to change the way that they disclose things, the way that people see companies, the way that people see value, right? Because if I invest in something, I want to see exactly what it's doing in real time right now. I don't want to wait till an investor meeting. I want to have updates on the regular that I can pull up on the phone. I know what you just ordered. So now I believe, so as I'm saying it, it sounds like it will actually make it better, right? Because transparency is always good. You understand me? Transparency is open. You understand me? Regardless of what's going on, and it allows the people to determine what's a good institution and what's not. But also, in order for you to do wrong, and if you're doing it on the blockchain, you have to have this, totalitarian. You just got to be what's the word I'm looking for? Conqueror. But that's not the word I'm looking for. Right? Where you just rule shit and there's no democracy. You understand me? Because basically you're saying, I know y'all see it, but I don't care. You understand me? So it's going to create a polarization.
Absolutely.
You understand me? To where, no, we want to be completely good with everything we do, above the board, ethical at all times, right? But I digress.
But the biggest industry that's going to be affected by it is entertainment. Because now I can't deceive an artist and say, I'm giving you $100,000 for your album, but if I make $22 million off of it, that's going to close the gap.
Right.
So the same way Steve Jobs attacked it and made the single, blockchain is going to destroy the music industry.
Let's talk about that. A lot of rappers are getting played by institutions, but they going on the camera and they stunting on the people. You understand me? That won't be available no more. You understand me? Because the amount of money you said you have in a song, a person looking like, bro, show it in your wallet then.
Yeah.
Your transaction. You understand me? So it definitely gonna kill the cap. You understand me? And it's gonna change the game as far as what institutions are allowed to do. Now, that means that they gonna have to figure out something very heavy if they want to maintain the presence. So I just don't see it possible. I just see a destruction of that entire institution, right? It has to be destroyed. It's kind of like the energy sector, right? Where they stop trying to be the suppliers of energy and now they just the managers of energy, right? So I do see those companies taking their resources and changing it to being more management and helping because now they got to facilitate real value, right? Rather than take advantage of people who have real value. You understand me? So let's talk about this real quick. I'm trying to punch in as much as I can. When it comes to energy and when it comes to climate change, what are some of the things that most people probably not thinking about at all when it comes to climate change?
That is going to be the biggest opportunity to make the most trillionaires ever.
Because
most tech companies don't do anything of value. So when I was a kid, I thought we would have flying cars or a lot more automation. We got Twitter, a remix of instant messenger. Instagram was great at one point, and that fell away. With the climate crisis that we're going through, the companies that can actually begin to fix Earth or make it clean again, that is a real problem that needs to be solved. Because none of this stuff matters. Chips, camera equipment, it doesn't matter if we don't have a safe environment to live in.
That's a fact.
So the ones that can clean up ocean, convert salt water into clean water, that we're running on water supplies that fixes real problems, can reproduce food at scale and not be GMO, those are multi-trillion-dollar businesses.
Absolutely. Now, I see a future of weaponizing this whole climate control, not from a point of, putting out propaganda against it per se, but just utilizing that to control people and take away more rights. You understand me? Because because this generation believes in climate control like no other generation ever.
Yeah.
Like it's miles of separation when it comes to how blessings to the God.
What's going on, my brother?
It's miles of separation when it comes to how the boomers, the Gen Z, the millennials think of climate change, right? They think of it as the worst thing to ever happen. Some of them think of it worse than slavery. You understand me? Like they real activists when it comes to climate change. So it's like with that, they wouldn't mind giving up rights if it make the planet better, right? And what this country does and what all governments do is they always find a way to take more power and more control. So imagine if there was a crisis that happened, right? An energy crisis. It could be anything. It would just be a reason why we say, nope, you can't do this, that, and the third. And they're utilizing it already to control corporations that don't meet compliance, that are a part of these cabals of climate change. You understand me? So now, if you want to or not, I don't care how much money you got. This is so powerful behind the scenes that it can disrupt cryptocurrency. You understand me? Because they have ways of shutting it down if they wanted to, just on the way that they've been building. NSA, CIA, the government, regimes, politics, all of this shit is intertwined in this moment. And it's going to become transparent as far as what things really are. Because what was in the shadow is now going to be on the blockchain. You understand me? Like, this is a time of revelation. You feel me? And I only say that so people can understand once they start seeing it playing out, they start to understand what's happening.
Not shocked, yeah.
You understand me? Like, I already know, like, our children's children, like, they will probably look at the things, you know how, like, PETA is for a generation of vegans. They go look at things that we did that may have caused emissions or, you understand me, pollutions, and they go scuff at us like, what?
Like, what the hell are you guys doing?
That wasn't recycling?
Yeah.
Like, that's the new activism wave because it takes away from human rights and it goes to planet rights. You understand me? We don't have to care about the human being. We care about the planet now. You understand me? Which completely decreases opportunities for civil rights, right, within our culture. So everything that we once had at the forefront is now been thrown on the back burner. We are the least important when it comes to political change, social change, and rights.
You always have been.
That's a fact. But at least we could fake it like we could fake like civil rights was popping. Now it's like, we got women rights, hold on, we got gay rights, now we got climate rights, we got Asian rights. We'll talk to y'all after, which means we ain't gonna never get to you. Whoever's in the back of the line, there's never a guarantee you ever gonna be spoken to. And if they do speak to you, there's no guarantees they gonna put on that table.
Because we don't move as one unit.
Yeah.
Voting anything. We collectively can't agree on anything. And once you have that kind of division, it's easy to take over.
Well, let's talk about that then, right? The beauty of the moment is that we have tools now to where we can utilize each other in trustless systems. You understand me? Like, we talk about blockchain a lot, and really we should scream it. You understand me? People should be outside picking it like black people get on this. The same way we pick at a black dead body, we should be picking up and picking in these opportunities that black people not creating because it's going to create more dead bodies at the end of the day, right?
But you know why we don't?
Talk to me.
We don't really want to be free.
So what is freedom?
At scale is the ability to be able to be treated fairly and operate in the ecosystem the way that you want to be treated. But we don't really want that. We want to flash and enough
look
access.
Free.
Yeah, we want to look free, but not do the deeds that are necessary. That's why, like, we underinvest, and I love that we poured in last year, but the fervor that was there last year is not there this year. It's like, okay, great, I invested last year, I'm good. I want Balenciagas. Fuck that. Like,
that's the thing. Everybody took their money and put it into liabilities. So all the money we made went back into the corporations, you understand me, and now we need to go back into investment. So it's a cycle of consumerism.
The women can change it though. If the
If
women put the value on being smart, being smart and value certain things, and certain kind of men get action, every man will adjust to being smart, investing, but if that's not what women want,
so
people won't do it.
the unfortunate reality is a lot of people think that the Kevin Samuels scale of the modern man value system, right? What that created is a lot of men just go get a lot of shit and increase their chances of getting whoever they want, right? And then women grade that as, well, he can buy me what I want. I will subject myself to him regardless of his morals, character, principles, or values are in line. I asked you, I don't know if it was you, I asked this question, who's the smartest black person in history?
All right, now said Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa, right? And I like your answer. Why Mansa Musa?
It wasn't just because of what he had, it was the ability to be able to nation build and share. So it wasn't just about him. It was amassing all these resources and then building a community and everyone loving upon each other and sharing resources.
Yeah.
Because that's what starts to work. If I have 80 apples and you have 2, you're going to be like, bro, let me get 8 at least. And I'm like, no, these are mine.
Yeah.
But if we share openly, we can get along a lot better.
Yeah.
I think the ability to amass and help people and uplift people is the greatest form of intellect there is.
So with that being said, right, I bring the question up to modern man and I say, who's the smartest black person in the last 100 years and who's the smartest black person today? The average person, if I answer that question, they go throw out a couple random figures, whoever they think is popular in their mind, right? Not who they truly think is the smartest. You ask that about white culture, we got 5 top guys we can think of quick. We're going to say Bill Gates, we're going to say Elon, we're going to say Jeff Bezos. You understand me? We got all of these people, we're going to say Einstein, of course, right? Newton and all these people, but when it comes to us, we don't even know our cultural contributions to this planet.
It's not heralded.
You understand me? So we don't value intelligence, right? We value popularity, right? The more popular I can become, the more valuable I become. When the smarter I become has nothing to do with my popularity, right? Which means that it don't increase my chances of having sex with women, having all of these different things. On a logical level, it's going to always increase your chances of doing whatever the hell you want to. But if we make intelligence the standard, then we will always put up the best people in front of our culture to lead. You understand me? Meaning that if I set a stage, do I want the most popular person on the subject or do I want the smartest? The best who can give the most value. Our culture never gets led by the smartest people.
A lot of the entertainment has to fall in order for that to happen.
It will fall, and it's gonna happen because a lot of entertainers go try to switch over, but you gotta have experience of education to educate people. You can have valuable knowledge, but it's a way you have to process, break down, understanding the learning process to be able to teach people to where they can get it, receive it,
and actually
execute.
have done it. There's one thing to be able to regurgitate, but to actually live the principles, manifest from it, that's totally different.
Yeah, and most people are better at motivation than they are education.
There's no value in motivation.
Motivation without instructions is dangerous, man. You understand me? I can be motivated to do something, but if I don't know how to do it, it's dangerous for me. It's the same way I tell a person, go in the gym and work out. When they go in there and work out, all of a sudden, you understand me, they pull their leg or something, or they hurt their back. Because yes, the activity was right, or which I told you to go do, but I never gave you instructions. I never actually showed you how to do it. I never gave you the results.
An actual blueprint that works.
An actual blueprint. So now we blueprinting. You understand me? I've built platforms, I've built organizations, I've taught people how to make money and do for self and how to become their own boss and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And not where they consistently need me. I teach them the game and be like, be free.
And be free, and do it on your own.
They just take the bird and put them in a cage. I take the bird and don't fly. You understand me?
You have to.
That's the difference. It's the Underground Railroad.
At scale, we have to want that for ourselves, and because a lot of times it's not that we want to shine together. One person wants to shine and stunt on everybody.
Yeah.
We have to take a lot of their ego.
And then the stunting be so whack because it's over-branded stunting. You understand me? Most of the stunting is somebody put on some Gucci or Louis or some fake-ass brands and acting like you a man. Yeah, that ain't manhood, that ain't godhood, that ain't what you say you are, because most of the time we only gangster when we can bully somebody. We ain't gangster to the corporation, we getting bullied by it. Everybody know they getting fucked in contracts all day long, but they want to kill their brother. This man just robbed you of millions of dollars. This person did something that didn't even matter. You understand me? Because we bullies to each other, and we get that passed down from slavery actions. You understand me? So it's like, at scale, we don't have enough courage to do shit. At scale, we don't have enough fearlessness to really act in a manner that produces the change. You understand me? And I'm gonna always be a proponent where I'm gonna speak truth, and I don't care who on it. You understand me? Because at the end of the day, yeah, you don't want to kill me for speaking up. You understand me? But you will never speak up to the people that's killing you. You understand me? On a daily basis. So at the end of the day, it's like, when I see my brother, I want to see you pronounced the right way. I want to see you held and celebrated in the right manner, because this is a person that can change your life if you listen. I don't care how many albums you fucking listen to of your favorite rapper, they will never give you the returns of listening to an hour segment of my brother.
That's real.
You understand me? And that's most of the peers that's in the space of what we do.
Yeah.
You understand me? Whether it's the Wall Street Trappers or Earn Your Leisure, you understand me? Or anybody else that's producing change based on results, you understand me? And actually caring and putting standards in the culture. Everybody ain't got no standards.
That's true. That's true. And once we break out of that mindset of wanting entertainment to be first, we'll be fine. Because we can corrupt and destroy every label in 3 weeks if we want to.
That's
And
a
say,
fact.
hey, we're just not going to support. We don't like. And people always say that they love somebody, and I'm like, do you love them if you won't support them in ways that will help them? Like, I have people like, yo, I'm a big fan. I'm a Jay-Z fan. I'm like, Jay, if Jay died today, most of the fans would not give any money to his kid.
That's a super fact.
Like, so if an artist is getting robbed and you're still supporting the music, do you really love that person, or did you love that moment of what you listening to?
Just the feeling.
It's just, it's just a feeling.
And then if the artist is getting robbed, who are the robbers? We be acting like, I see something on the news, this artist's contract is messed up. Well, who wrote the contract? We keep acting like these people don't exist, but these are real corporations and institutions. When you make them the villain instead of the ignorance of the person who signed the contract, you understand me? Then we start producing change, because it's like, you will blame this person for being taken advantage of. We always, hip-hop and rappers are victims at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
They victims. Putting a snapshot of you smiling, looking good with your chains on and fly, that ain't how you feel behind closed door when you feel like you just got robbed and raped because you signed a contract that's taking your whole life away. Yeah. You understand me? And then when you got a generation looking up and aspiring to be that exact same thing, they get in a room and they go through the cycle.
The music business is the only business where you don't equally know how much everybody gets paid.
Yeah.
Most rappers make less than $85,000 a year.
Rappers need a Me Too movement. Because the way they getting raped is dangerous, man.
I mean, but the truth is, that's because fans don't support.
Yeah.
If an artist is really, like, if Babyface Ray is really moving, his fans should allow him to never have to get a deal.
That's a fact.
If y'all really fuck with him, how y'all say, Patreon, whatever, put the 10 in, drop music every month, and the fans can do that.
But that's what the blockchain can do.
Yeah.
Because you can create a DAO, or you can create a token to where it's like, look, yeah, I can put my money out there, but each stream can represent money coming in, but also me taking, let's say if I take, this is a new artist management, the people become the manager.
Yeah.
You love my music, all right, buy into the token. A percentage of that, once I get returns, you understand me, is going to go back into the community. Certain percentage going, 20% going to marketing, 20% going to artist development, 20% going into production, right? It's an automated system. And because I'm listening to it, then you can also have somebody to where it becomes autonomous to where you start doing deals with advertisers. These advertisers are pouring money back into the token. Token is connected to that artist. The artist is getting paid a percentage. The people getting paid back a percentage from investing into it. It's one big susu pool. You understand me? So it's like blockchain allow you to eliminate excuses and create new opportunities that didn't exist at first.
People don't want the opportunity. That's the real. Because if you,
the new generation will.
That's true.
You know, a lot of times we just get stuck on the older cats that's stuck in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Your contract's so bad, it don't matter what you want to do, you're a slave. You will ask any slave, do you want to work right now? Do you want to work for more money? I don't have a choice, I got a master. You understand me? But you go as a free man, that same question, of course I want more for what I do. You understand me? So catching the generation while they're young and they free, then you have the ability to teach them the right way to do it.
Teach them early.
Yeah.
Because once the indoctrination happens, from 2 to 8, there's no turning back. We teach our kids too late. I always said, like, we'll put our kids in football camp at 7. We won't teach them about money until 25. It's too late. Streets has got to them, and then they have all these money trauma and fears, and now it's like you don't want
money trauma.
I mean, it's real.
They got money trauma.
I mean, if you grew up broke or you ever had your lights cut off or
Yeah, I got money
lost,
trauma.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
I
certain
got
amount of
financial
trauma.
PTSD. You understand me?
And that never leaves you. I was on a
Yeah.
lady with a plane, white lady. She was like, yo, I was broke half my life, 53, multi-millionaire. She's like, it never leaves you.
Yeah.
Because once you're hurt that kind of way financially, it scars you.
And you will
pass it
work
on to your kids.
abundantly to not produce. If you one of the ones that cure it, you gonna work abundantly to make sure that feeling never exists
never
again
comes back home.
in your DNA.
Yeah.
The DNA is where we pass that down. You understand me? It becomes epigenetic. It gets stuck in us. You understand me? And I've learned that, you know, the DNA is where karma is inherited. Because
Say it again.
DNA is what karma is inherited. Anything that my father went through, I have to clear from my DNA so I don't pass down the karma to my child. You understand me? And a lot of people don't clear the karma out there. It's a saying in India, it's called Kamsahara. And it speaks upon when a person gets enlightened, that it wipes away the patterns, you understand me, over inside their DNA and their brain to where they can have a sense of enlightenment. You understand me? And that pattern is essentially creating new, starting new, and allowing to build on the right infrastructure instead of starting with the wrong program and having to deal with that. So it's like we got to clear out the karma before we can ever have a better generation. And the karma of our parents is evident in our blood.
How do we do it culturally?
Culturally, we have to get back to family. Culturally, we have to get back to values, principles, standards, you understand me, that exist within families' codes and structures. If I take your family and I say, well, here's the Dunlap family. The Dunlap family has a trust. That trust also has a book that has a crest that represents what that family stands for, to honor the structure. When you have a child, you teach that child everything within that family Bible, you understand me, that family stands for. That becomes an institution that can be passed down over time. But it has to start with the organization of family. We got to eat together. If family have a simple cure, I don't care whether y'all arguing or not.
Most families don't even do what you're about to say.
Yeah. If we watch Soul Food, the best thing about it was the fact that regardless of the issues they had, they still came back and ate together. It allowed them to resolve issues and problems as a community. So what community does is it allows people to have connection with each other. I'm getting a consistent update on who you are. I knew who you was last week. You could have been through all kind of trauma since then. You could have had different visions, ideas, but I only have a freeze frame image of who you were. I never really know who you are. So when we deal with a person based on their past, you don't respect their present.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, it creates this little brother, big brother syndrome. And you never feel properly respected because this person acting like I ain't grew, acting like I ain't grown. They don't even know my true vision. Parents do that all the time. Children always rebel, like, you don't know me for real. Because when was the last time you sat down and actually talked to the child?
Yeah. And the number one thing that's causing it?
It's phone. That's the new parent.
This is more addictive than any drug that's ever been put on earth.
Absolutely.
I don't know
It's
one
the
person
best
who's
drug
drunk
ever
for
created.
17 hours a day. People will not put it down. That's why I tell people, put the phone down, and then there's been a lot of concentration to break the family up for that reason. Because I always say, if we have love in our family, that will lead to generational wealth. There is no generational wealth possible if we don't. Because if we don't get along as a family, how can we pass on anything generation-wise? Everything is like, focus on you, your ego, fuck as many bitches as possible. As a person that's done that, that's overrated. That's the part they don't, or
That's a fact.
the pregnancy scares, as to all the drama that comes with it, that you lost out on trying to feel like a man.
Yeah.
Because we had broken household, and no one was like, yo, I love you.
Yeah.
Shit. That's what that shit really about.
Yeah.
That's playing. Even all the Kevin Samuel shit, I love what he's doing marketing-wise. I feel like that's put there to get us further apart from each other. Because now it's the modern man versus the bad bitches, boss bitches thing, to create more division amongst us.
We live in a gatekeeper society. If I'm talking to Baller Alert, I'm like, are y'all catching up with the wealth movement? She'll say to me, what's that? How y'all one of the biggest cultural platforms and you will not put education next to all this goddamn entertainment. You will not put value next to all this worthless shit that y'all put on there. You understand me? And you do it on purpose because it's all about how I can gaslight the culture to get more attention, to get more money. It's profit. Everybody want to talk about Facebook, but Facebook model is the same as everybody with a platform nowadays.
Absolutely.
Profit over people.
Yeah.
You understand me? If you can go to the CEO of Shade Room, CEO of Ball Alert, the CEO of all these people and ask them, do you put profit over people? They go want to say, yeah, we do. We got diversion and inclusivity. But they're gonna be like, all right, well, what about all of these people in the culture that adds value that you don't show? Is it on purpose? Oh no, I just didn't know about it. Oh, so nobody brought it to you, or you didn't look for it?
Yeah, I don't care about it.
I can tell when a man is dangerous, specifically, and I can tell how ignorant a person is. When I see a man with money and he don't produce nothing, he has nothing in his mind. You understand me? Because the moment you get money, it should fund your thoughts.
Absolutely.
You get $1 million, you get $1 billion, and ain't nothing happen, no disruption, no production, you is not dangerous. Because that means that you now have the ability to fund all of the thoughts that you've always had, and you don't do it. So either you don't have them, or you're too afraid to do it.
Is fear.
Yeah, the latter is fear. Because we also want to be included in everything. Like, either we too afraid, or we don't want people to fear us. Because there's this social connection that we want to have. Access is the new wealth. I will let you in the room. That's more important than me paying you.
That's true.
You understand me? So access allows people to have zero cost leveraging, right? The same way we do with social platforms. It costs me $0 to use social media. It's the biggest wealth building platform on the planet because it costs nothing. The arbitrage is huge, right? I don't have to pay YouTube no money to use it and broadcast to 1 million people on a monthly basis. So now that we have zero cost opportunities, you understand me, it changes the game on how much we can leverage. It just depends on how creative you are now. And it depends on what your intentions are. Because if your intentions match your attention, then you just build what's in your mind. You understand me? So if I see a man, I can see what his intentions are based on what he put his attention to.
How do you think we can break people out of that cycle of only focusing on gossip or like the liability of media into producing things that matter a lot more for us?
Sometimes you gotta shame people before they change. You understand me? Shame makes more people change than anything. When you feel like, you know, the self-accusing spirit of a man will always be his biggest judge. You understand me? Telling you right from wrong. So one thing I tell parents is like, you go walk up to your child and tell them that you love them, right? But let's say love is an action word and we can agree to that definition. And they're like, yeah, I agree. Well, how do you know you love your child, right? Is it because you said it, or is it because you are actively doing 100% of everything that you need to do to make sure that you're building their future out so that they can be successful? And if I ask that parent, have you done 100% of everything? They have to say no. Because then if they say yes, well, I gotta ask you, do you know financial literacy? Do you know stocks? Do you know options? You know crypto? You know meta? You know life insurance and trust and real estate? And they say, well, no. Well, how do you know you love your child if you're not going to take that time to sacrifice to learn these things, to teach your child the things they need to do to be able to do for self and to live a life of happiness and success, right? So then it's like, all right, listen, I can help you with it though. How about I give you the knowledge so that you can pass it to your child, so when you go to them at night, you can know that the action that you're putting in represents the love you have for them.
That's true. And kids don't need to know a whole lot. You don't have to like lecture them. It's like one tip, one thing, and they need to see you do it. The reason why Xander loves the stock market because he sees you do it, and he sees the money that comes from it. I keep my lessons to one line.
Yeah.
This is debt, this is what an investment is, what a stock is. Green is up, red is up. Kids don't need, like, we want to teach our kids how we want it to be taught.
Right.
They have to see the manifestation of the result of that, not just the knowledge for having the knowledge.
Let me ask you something, and we can close on this point. What do you think the most dangerous thing about you is?
People don't know how far into the future I'm thinking, and I'm not flashy in my approach, so people don't think that it's valuable. I would get a lot more attention if I had a bunch of chains, rolling on, all that, and I can get all that shit, right? But if I make you focus on the actual strategy, I'm only pulling the ones who really want it. Like my plan is like, for real, 2040 to have half the world investing and listening to me. But it doesn't look fly because I'm in suit. If I had a bunch of chains on, it would be, but I'm like, not being flashy allows me to make decisions a lot different than most people have to. So now I'm not stressed.
The upkeep.
Don't have to worry about upkeep, don't have to worry about the drama, don't have to compete. So when you don't have to compete and you just focus on craft, all of my, like, the model that Jordan, Brady, Kobe had, I love that. Focus on the craft.
But you also have a skill set that you can never unlearn.
That's true.
So it's like the entirety of what you do is not based on anyone's opinions.
Yep.
It's not based on how somebody else evaluates you or value you. It is completely on IP.
Yep.
It's completely on skill sets. And I want people to understand how valuable what he just said is that he have complete autonomy, freedom, and fearlessness because he's not dependent on no other person on the planet.
Right.
You understand me? His skill sets is based on how the planet operates
Yep.
and how to be able to pull money out of the operation. That's a different type of intelligence. It's a different type of freedom. It's a different type of opportunity that exists for you. And then for those who listen and just think. You understand me? How come there's not enough people in my surrounding circle that speak like this or think like this? Obviously, you're in the wrong circle. You understand me? Because what you thought was
But
square
it's not
shit was the
flashy
circle.
thing, because everybody wants to show outwardly that they have it. That's because it's the women part.
Oh yeah.
I want to show this so I can go get the girl over here with the fat ass. She got D's, so I want the D. People don't want the freedom part. They just want, like most men want enough money just to go fuck something. They don't want like a selection of who you have kids with, how deeply you love your children will determine those actions. I could dress it up and bring more people in, but it'll be the wrong people. Like
That's
the
a fact.
thing that I love is like whether a person likes me or hate me, as long as I have internet connection, no one can stop what I want to do.
Yeah. So let me ask you this last thing then. Because the most important thing with what you do is mindset. You understand me? The market don't care about your emotions at all. You understand me? There's no therapy next to you saying that you feel better about the next trade or nah. You have to have self-control and discipline. So if a person wanted to do what you do, they wanted to duplicate the success of Ian Dunlap, what's the mindset they need? No, talk to their ass.
The truth is, like most men don't have the discipline to do what I do because they want short-term gains. Whether relationship, friendship, showing up, and I used to be flashy as hell. Like I was wearing Versace product in college. Like that was my shit because as a black man that's not seen, if I wear this shit, it'll make you be like, what do you do with your 19 and a half and shit on? Once that inferiority leaves your body, you don't care. Then it's the discipline of everything else after that. Like number one, for dick discipline. Most men aren't even selective in who they'll fuck.
That's a super fact.
So if you can control that and control the actions that you take every day, that will lead to the money. I'm able to beat damn near 99% of people because most men won't follow a plan for 20 days, let alone 500.
Now, how do you gain that type of discipline where you start something and you finish it?
You
Because
gotta love yourself. You gotta have a big vision. You have to love yourself.
my chief saying is it don't take 21 days to make a habit. You understand me? It's the day you start and the day you don't quit.
Yep.
You understand me? So if everything that you start, you see it through, you're a master.
Small things. Like even all my friends have kids. They take care of their kids. I can't be around anybody that don't take care of their kids because I feel you'll kill me. If you won't take care of your seed, you'll put a bullet in it.
That's a fact.
So it's the same discipline that you have every day. My routine is the same every day. Because I know that's going to lead to freedom. Like, if we take hooping, there are other people in a 4-year span that got drafted with Kobe who should have been better than Kobe. There's some that higher flyers, better three, work ethic.
That's a fact.
Separated them, and that was the thing that made Kobe, Jordan, and stayed on top of his game. Like, so that's the thing that I push. The discipline will lead to the freedom that we want. And once you tie it to the right industry,